Sometimes worry about it because I think that it's a bit of a necessary, but could also be a necessary evil. There's a Japanese insurance company that incorporated AI and data intelligence for processing insurance claims in our industry, and they improved efficiency 30%. To Alain's point about efficiency gains, but as a consequence, they also had to make 45 people redundant. And I think sometimes if you don't pace the adoption of AI and data-driven technologies, you have political consequences because people got unemployed and they start blaming other people. You've seen political decisions in 2016 that may have been partly a result of automation and AI, not necessarily positively impacted. So you have to measure them and the adoption of them.
I guess you could argue there that having these AI doing more of the operational jobs mean that humans end up doing a more sophisticated, more technically demanding job.
If you upgrade your skills, but if you don't and you start blaming people, then you become like Luddites in the 19th century in Britain and blame someone else.
Right, which is actually like a great segue to the next point, right? All four of you have built your businesses respectively in the UK and in the US, where arguably, and perhaps even more so in the UK, the regulatory regime has been fairly friendly to fintech firms. And all of you now are going abroad. Are you finding, I guess, that the governments or the regs in other countries are facilitating your businesses, or is it like a real challenge to go abroad in view of the regs?
In our industry, it's so fragmented abroad. So the United States insurance industry is so fragmented state by state that it makes it really cumbersome to go there. I have a business involvement in Canada, and I can tell you that, again, province by province, it's very, very different. They're trying to cooperate across 6 provinces out of the 10, but even that's not fully possible. But what I'd say is that even the British Columbia Securities Commission is trying to learn from the UK FCA, because they see the UK as being more advanced. The UK allows for innovation. They have this very specific concept called the sandbox concept, where you can try out new technologies and see the impact in a limited fashion so that regulation can match that before it's put out and exported to the large market. And a key test for that is coming up with ICOs, because that's a key new innovation, but the regulations lag behind, and there's a fear factor involved as to whether you're actually distributing securities in the form of tokens. So the UK is advanced and it's very helpful. Other countries are not, but even the UK is struggling with technology advances.
Right, and and talking about